everyone, and welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I am INSANEBRIT, and this is this week's News Friday, where I talk about all the week's gaming news, gaming topics of the week, as long as I can find them. The top story this week is Battlefront 2 gets complaints from a Reddit user, and in actual fact, EA addressed them. Basically, essentially, it was some guy complaining the fact that he had paid £80, or $80, you should say, for example, on the new Battlefront game, blah blah blah. Basically, if you go on PSN, you can get different versions of the games, including Far Cry 5, £50, £70, £80 deluxe edition, and this is an ongoing theme. Of course, anybody who buys these in particular must read what they're actually going to get. His main complaint is the fact that he paid £80 or $80 and still couldn't play as Darth Vader. Of course, this is an unlockable character, and and due to the amount of in-game times on average of points that you would actually get, essentially he would have to put in about 40 hours to unlock those characters. Now, when it comes to online gaming anyway, with those kind of scenarios, they always require you to put in work and time and effort and dedicate a lot of yourself to that particular game to unlock certain things, etc, etc. Yes, it would be cool to play as Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, and a bunch of other characters in that universe, but at the same time, even I know that you're going to have to put in work to do that, and personally I can't be bothered with it, and I will not be investing that amount of time into the game, so personally, meh. But I know a lot of people just want to come home, sit down and play as some of their favourite characters, but again, this is going to be you're going to have to put in a certain amount of work. This is just fact. You know what I mean? It is reality. Having said that, because he paid £80, he thought he would get access to it. My simple advice to that particular, or anybody buying these types of games, look at the content that you're actually getting. If it's said that you're going to get, you often get some skins, you get some map packs a week early, or whatever. You know, it goes a list certain events for £80 deluxe users, perhaps, etc, etc, and you know, some packs or whatever they're going to give you, or some loot crates. Having said that, EA did address the situation right away, and there's an update version of this as well. It's kind of funny. The the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for the cost, we selected the initial value based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to the milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we are looking at average player credit, earn rates on a daily basis. We'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course attainable via gameplay. Well, essentially everything's attainable via gameplay, you just got to put in the hours, and this particular individual didn't like the fact you had to. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics here on the Reddit and the other forums across the social media spectrum. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor the community feedback and updates everyone soon. A lot of people weren't very happy with that outcome. Like I said, 40 hours to unlock a particular character, and you'll probably have to repeat that process as well to unlock the other characters. Anyway, an update to that is before the game launched, I believe, or they patched it up straight away, like after about a day max, you know what I mean? The cost of in-game currency for Battlefront 2 heroes has been reduced by 75%. Now you might think, oh, that's really good, 75%, they've adjusted it straight away, blah blah blah, and that's cool, so they don't have to play for 40 hours to unlock that particular character or whatever. That's a really good thing. But apparently people are still not happy because it's a counterbalance mechanism, so when they've reduced it at one end, they've reduced it at the other as well. While it's reduced at 75%, they've also reduced the amount of points you get on average. So essentially, it's the same thing. They've given you something here, and they've taken away at this end. So it's not really helped the situation. Kudos for addressing the situation rather quickly, but at the same time, it hasn't concluded it. You know what I mean? It's a counterbalance. So you're still going to have to put in a lot of hours. And like I said, though, if you are going to buy these, £80 versions or whatever, read about what you're getting, understand the type of game you're going to be playing and jumping into. I think this might be another casual person, I don't know, or maybe it's just a hardcore Star Wars fan, it doesn't matter one way or the other. Always read about what you're getting. I personally do not buy the £80 versions of any game. What I do first is I look at the gameplay online or whatever, or whatever I see, or play demos or other people, playing the game. And then I will buy the base game, and if I think the game is good enough, I will go and buy the DLC, the map packs, because it's not like they're not going to be there. You know what I mean? This is some kind of statue or something, and even then, you know, I can still buy a bunch of statues for certain games in the Super Deluxe Edition on Amazon or wherever it may be. So I advise basically checking out the gameplay, then ordering the base game, and then you can always update to the map packs and season pass a week later if you think the game's good enough. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Well, that's basically the situation with Battlefront 2. Speaking of EA though, back in 2015, publishing giant Electronic Arts started to talk about the ambition to make a gigantic GTA-style action game. EA's new studio, Motive, is working on one of these games under the direction of Assassin's Creed director Jade Raymond. We still don't know much about the game, but EA CFO Blake Jorgensen, I know I've got the pronunciation wrong, has now teased it. Speaking at UBS Global Technology Conference this week, Jorgensen said this game has a lot of new and interesting gameplay I don't think anyone has seen ever before. The executive also spoke generally about why EA is moving into the action game space, also adding BioWare's new IP Anthem into the conversation, which of course I'm very excited to play at some point. Action is clearly a place we are missing the most, and the reason we are building Anthem and the new title that Jade Raymond's team at Motive is building in Montreal explained that the largest sector in gaming, it's one we haven't spent a lot of time in because we were focused on sports first-person shooters. We feel like there's a huge opportunity here. Well, yeah, I agree with that. It'd be nice for them to venture in other things. Of course, FIFA comes out every single year, etc. And then, you know, you've got like I said, the Battlefronts and, you know, Battlefield 1 and all the rest of it. So it'd be interesting to see what they can do here. He went on to say the Motive's new action game has the potential to succeed thanks to the creativity of 100+ people that the studio has hired. He also said the Motive new action game has new ideas that have never been thought of before. Now that is interesting. We'll soon see. That's an exciting thing to think about, but it remains to be seen what this means in practice, and of course, that whatever it may be, we've seen a lot of things from parkour and, you know, just changing of the camera angles and X, Y, and Z. We've seen different ranking up options. We'll soon see if that comes to pass. Finally, he's discussed the Anthem. Blah, blah, blah. Recently said that it's looking very exciting and the game is due out in 2018. Well, I'm interested to see what they do. It'll be interesting to see what the story is like, what the type of game it is. Will I want to stick to it long term? So we have to wait till, like I said, 2018. I've got a couple of anime stories here actually. If I can just let me have a look. Japanese media watchdog receives complaints about an anime called I'm gonna get the pronunciation wrong. Inuyashiki. Okay, it's spelled Inuyashiki, I believe. Basically, they've received, I mean, it's only got one complaint here, to be honest with you, and I wouldn't really even talk about this, but it's funny because the actual pictures I'm seeing, it looks pretty fucking gruesome. So let me just take you down. They received a bunch of complaints of the anime content. The complaints describe the content of the anime, of the titles, gruesome or whatever. Basically, one complaint refers to a late night anime. Now, this is a late night anime. Why is your children watching this? That's my question. In the TV anime, there was a scene where someone invades a home and kills the family members one by one. It was cruel and uncomfortable to watch, even though the anime airs at late night slot. I am worried that children will be negatively influenced by seeing this type of behavior. First of all, if your children is watching this and you're very cautious of that, you're a bad parent. You should not be allowing your children to watch this. There are lots of adult themes in anime, and you should pretty much be well aware of that. Unless you can always watch the anime yourself, or just even look at the ratings themselves. Like put on something safe, like Pokemon or something. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if they're 18 rated, then by all means you should already know that. It's kind of stupid, I feel. Anyway, looking at this anime and the amount of blood and gore in this one particular scene, it looks fucking gruesome. And my question is simply, when is this going to be dubbed? Because I want to buy it, just on these pictures that I'm seeing. So, again guys, Inuyashiki, or whatever, I spelled it out for you. Just Google that and it might pop up. Unfortunately, I bet it's going to be like a long time before it's actually dubbed. I don't know if it's in Japan already. Next up is a Japanese politician apologizes for saying anime contributes to crime. Oh God, one of these idiots. House of Councillors member Yamamoto, a member of the Liberal Democrat Party in Japan, posted an apology on his official blog on Wednesday, saying the anime contributes to crime. It does not, but whatever, okay. He made the apology, his live streaming program on Wednesday. Yamamoto had said in an episode of Shin Haido 201, or 2001, a political discussion talk show that aired November 5th, that video games and anime may encourage crime. The participants in the episodes discussing a recent case of Tarakio Shirashi, a 27-year-old suspected serial killer. Police arrested the man in Zama on October 31st after finding parts of 9 bodies in his apartment. Good God. Yamamoto said on the program that games and anime have an influence on criminal activity when people are unable to distinguish between fictional and real worlds. Well, I admit that the statistics show in the United States, for example, that shootings go up every single time a Call of Duty is released. Shootings go up in the USA. It's just statistically, you look at it and it's like a common theme. That's in the United States. Having said that, Japan has one of the lowest crime rates anyway. And having said that, you know, I think it's knife crime. They don't have guns in Japan or everything else, so it's not like that. Having said that, you're taking one psycho wacko motherfucker in about hundreds of millions of people in your country, and you're going, it's video games. No, for the most part, you know, like they're all right. You get some oddballs, a bit weirdo kids, you know, you get that, or just quiet people. But essentially, we're not all serial killers and murderers, and most of us, you know, just watch anime for the art style, the story. It's intriguing. I don't encourage me to go out and kill someone or slaughter someone. It's pretty out of touch, you know, theme, at least in my opinion. Right, so I've got one or two other stories to talk about, but I know of today. Oh yes, I wanted to talk about Wonder Woman. Essentially, there's this controversy going on right now about oh god, what was it now? Especially on Twitter, sorry, that's where it mainly came from. Basically, they released the outfits from essentially the outfits from the last Wonder Woman movie, the main movie that made hundreds of millions of dollars, which is cool. I haven't seen the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And then you've got this new version where in the Justice League or whatever. Having said that, the Amazon women had some kind of armor on in the first one, and they said it looked decent, blah blah blah. That's fine, haven't seen it. And then the new one, a man developed the armor for the Justice League film. So, and basically they're looking all skimpy now, and they've just got a bra on with armor, and their stomachs are showing. And then people on Twitter are picking up saying this is the difference between a woman and a man's, perception of what the character is, or just like men ruin. Like there were some harsh words like men ruin everything. Well, at the same time, men and women may have different opinions on particular armor or like whatever the clothing that is picked. I get that, I understand that. Having said that, it's also called a design choice. I don't like the politically motivated things when they're done for that sense. If it's just like a design choice, then I won't really care. And essentially that is what this is. You look at Batman, and I'm a huge fanboy of. Lots of people complained about the Batman suit being, it should be this, it should be that, and we're worried about it. I mean, this is just a suit, and they're worried about it. And yet, because there's a lot of passion, so I understand the passion involved, at the same time, so, whichever suit you get, or armor, or whatever it is, you just got to hope. It's just a design choice, essentially. Having said that, I would always refer to the source material, which I think is a good idea. Having said that, even in movies in general anyway, they change... oh my god, this fucking idiot. Sorry, someone's pissing me off right now. Anyway, sorry, I've just lost my train of thought there and the article itself. But yeah, so basically it's just a simple design choice about what people are doing, like I said, with the Batman suit and the the Wonder Woman. Personally, it's not really going to affect the film. Essentially, just people are jumping on the bandwagon of, this is a man thing and blah blah blah. It's not really, it's just a design choice one way or the other. Why they did it is why they did it. I'm sure it's going to be a good movie anyway. Anyway, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to continue a bunch of other, check my other stories, and then I'll get back. Sorry about that, guys. I lost my threshold in because somebody messaged me or whatever, and it really pissed me off. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it was basically a design choice, and I'm not really too worried about it. I think the movie's going to be great anyway, and I think these people are just political baiting or man-hating or whatever, you know, because a man made it while a woman made the original in the movie. But whatever, there's always going to be design differences in every movie. They change things, swap things, creativity changes with the person they've hired or whatever, including from the director through to the actors, etc., etc. Even the script writing is different or whatever. So it depends. Hopefully we want some kind of consistency. Hopefully the Justice League movie is going to be good anyway. Of course it's going to be great. It's got Batman in it, surely. Yeah, Cyborg, and of course the Flash, as well as Wonder Woman. Speaking of the Batman universe, I have this quote list, and I've got to be honest with my opinion on. Okay, so Ben Affleck took over as Batman. People were unsure of it. Blah blah blah. I personally was a little bit worried, but I have seen him act in a few films. And I gave him a pass on the Batman vs Superman because it wasn't his acting, it wasn't Superman's acting, it wasn't Doomsday's acting. Well, Doomsday is the fucking, CGI. But at the same time, it was bad writing. It was terrible writing. Everyone was okay. It was just terrible writing, bad, just ridiculous. In that, it's been a year now plus, and I've only watched the movie twice because it's so bad. 2 times. I've watched Batman with and Bane, whatever the Batman that is, right, with Tom Hardy. I've watched that like 20 times in the past 2 years. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking great. But whatever. But get this. The headline coming out now, there's rumours Ben Affleck was going to step down as Batman, right? It's got Ben Affleck looking for a graceful and cool way to finish playing Batman. You've just stepped into the Batman universe. You've got a pass because, essentially your acting was fine as Batman, but the writing was shit. And now you're talking about leaving. You haven't even been in one Batman movie. One full Batman movie. And I'll get to that in a second, right? Get this, right? Okay, it says here. There's been much speculation about Ben Affleck's future as Batman in the DC superhero movies over the past few months. Last week, the Star seemed to suggest that his future as the Caped Crusader was in doubt. He has now confirmed he is looking to leave the DC universe. Speaking to USA Today, Affleck revealed that the standalone Batman movie that is set to be directed by War of the Planet of the Apes, looks like a good movie by the way, Matt Reeves, is now only something I'm contemplating. Contemplating? Affleck then went on to state, you don't do it forever. You haven't even done it! Alright, so I want to find graceful and a cool way to siege out of it. Alright, let's continue. I'll get to my opinions after because this is ridiculous. Affleck's comments are in line with the story that Hollywood Reporter ran in July. This goes back to July, by the way. Said that DC is considering gracefully easing Affleck out of the role as he first played it in last year's Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Like I said, it ain't really his fault. It was the writing. Affleck, who appears in Batman in this week's Justice League, was originally set to start to direct and co-write the Batman movie. However, he stepped down as director in January, and since then the direction of the film has clearly changed. While Reeves has stated that Affleck is still involved, he has also confirmed the Star script would no longer be used, although the movie is frequently referred to as The Batman. It does not have a release date or even a title. So this is a code name just for Batman. Okay, my point is about Affleck. Affleck, whatever his fucking name is. Okay. You haven't been in one full Batman movie, dude. You essentially went on Batman versus Superman. Well, that's 50-50 right there, head to head. So 50% of the movie was Superman, 50% of it was fucking, Batman. The other thing is, you played a part in Suicide Squad, like a 5% part. In this particular movie in the Justice League, there's a bunch of different characters, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman, sorry. So you're like, another 20% in there? You ain't even before, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85%. You have been in 85% of the movie overall. You haven't even done a standalone Batman movie, and you're like, oh, I want to gracefully leave the role. Fuck out of it. You ain't even been in it that much. You really haven't. You haven't been in it enough to say, this is me, this is my Batman, this is what I did, and I hope everybody's happy with it, and it was a success or not. The Batman vs Superman movie, you could argue, is not really a decent movie compared to what it could have been, because the writing was just bad. That wasn't your fault. We can let you go. You're in Suicide Squad for a little bit. Again, that was just a side role. That's fine. I think a lot of people enjoyed that and were excited to get your standalone Batman movie, so we're looking forward to that. Okay, so then it goes to the Justice League, and you've got other characters, and there's going to be a lot of dedicated time to each individual character, and that's cool. We'll probably see more of the so-called Batman. But you haven't even been in a standalone Batman movie, and now you're thinking about not even doing it. When you sign up for a series, show some loyalty, man. I think that shows massive disrespect to the fans, massive disrespect for the franchise. It seems to me like you wanted a massive fucking payday, and this is one. Now, I rate him as an actor, but at the same time, I haven't seen him in a lot of big budget movies where I would say, oh man, what an epic movie, that Ben Affleck, what a great film. Maybe it's because it's not my style, but at the same time, you know, I don't know if you're a comic book fan or not, but this is like, if you are, you know, this is like a massive role for an actor. Like an honour, at least in my opinion. I mean, Batman's iconic. Spider-Man, they keep jumping around, so I think everyone's going to end up playing Spider-Man. How many fucking versions they do have of him from the, you know, I mean, hell, whatever. I'm not a fan of Spider-Man, really. I'm just not. But I'm not hating on him. I'm just simply saying, with the amount of versions they have of it, you know, I'm just massively disappointed. So let's have a look at Ben Affleck's movies, right? This will be interesting. I'll start from the beginning, right? I'll give you a rundown, literally. He was in a movie called Daddy and Them, Bending an Arc, I Killed, I'm not even going to name it, that is a weird name, Going All the Way, 200 Cigarettes, Glory Days, Clerks 2, I've seen Clerks, I haven't seen Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob, of course, with Kevin Smith, great movie, loved him. He's been in More Rats, I've seen that as well, so that's 2 movies I've seen of yours. Shakespeare in Love, why the fuck would I watch that? Phantoms, Man About Town, never heard of it. Reindeer Games, never heard of it. School Ties, never heard of it. Bounce, never heard of it. Oh look, an 18-rated movie, Surviving Christmas, I haven't seen it. Changing Lanes, oh that might be a high-profile movie. It's got some guy in it. I can't remember who's starred on. Dogma, 1999, 2007, Smoking Aces. Was he in Smoking Aces? Don't remember him. Don't even remember your performance in Smoking Aces, dude. What else we got? Let's go down a little bit nearer. Paycheck. Gigi, Hollywoodland, Dazed and Confused. I'm fucking confused. It's a comedy, by the way. Gone Baby Gone, State of Play, The Company Men, Daredevil, which I remember Daredevil. It was a piece of shit. It got canned. Pearl Harbor. That was a good movie. That's the high-profile movie I'm reading right now. Pearl Harbor. That was a great fucking movie. Good Will Hunting, another one. So you got 2 there for me. Live by Night, The Town, Argo. What the fuck is Argo? The Accountant. Oh, that sounds fucking interesting, don't it? The Accountant. Actually, no, he's got a gun. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the Accountant that went rogue. Gone Girl, one of his latest movies. Oh, no, wait, that's in 2014. And Batman. So essentially, I can count 3 movies, or 4. 3 of them being like, you know, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, Pearl Harbor, and maybe one other. So that's 4 films that I even know you from, really. 4 big films. I know that the look on his face in that interview when he was talking with, you know, an interviewer, and he had the guy who plays Superman, who plays the Superman really well, by the way, who's actually been in a standalone Superman movie and has been in, you know, the Batman vs Superman. So he's been in 1.5 movies compared to you, dude. You haven't been in a whole 1 fucking movie. I know his face was a little bit disheartened. You know, when you saw him, there was a meme going around. He was like, you know, all sad and that, like that, in the interview. But that wasn't his fault, and that was one aspect of it. There's fans have massive expectations, and I think in all the movies he's really been in, I don't think a lot of fans have had massive expectations. They are simply things that he has done, and then you've watched and then said that was good or bad. This is one where they've got millions of fans, it's high profile, it's big budget, there's a lot of pressure, people will criticise you. To be fair, it was the writing. I don't know about you directing the movie, I don't know about your script, I just don't know about that aspect of it. Whether I have faith in you to do that or not. At the same time, I just simply want you to act in the movie, and I'm hoping it's going to be good. Which I have faith in you to act it. What I'm disappointed at or pissed off at is the fact that you're already deciding to leave when you haven't done enough for the franchise. Like, you want to leave it in a blaze of glory, and it's like, dude, you haven't fucking been in 100% of a movie. So I kind of feel like he's betrayed some of the Batman fans there, because it fucks up the franchise, or it frustrates the franchise, because then it means well, he's in the Justice League movie, then he won't be in Justice League 2, which you know it's going to happen. So it's kind of fucking shit. That kind of ruins the momentum of the series, of this new this new beginning of Batman. Like, starts again with Bale stepping out the role, even being offered $50 million for it. It feels like it kills it. Having said that, I'm kind of hoping that if this is the way it's going to go, and he's looking that way, and it does look serious, I'm hoping he just steps out of it, disappears, someone comes in, hopefully a great actor, I don't know who, I really don't know, but someone else plays Batman, does it really well in the standalone Batman movie, so we can get on with that particular character and get used to him playing it, then go into Justice League 2, then go into Batman vs Superman 2, probably going to happen. So, you know, but don't sign up to a franchise or iconic character and then fuck it off after, like, alright, it's been 2 years or something, or plus. But, you know, I don't know. I partly want to say, under my breath, you can't hack the big blockbuster movies like this, because all these other movies are shit. Or things I wouldn't touch, or even watch. That, you know, maybe comic book movies ain't for you. I don't know. I'm unsure about his reasoning there, why he'd want to get out of it straight away, but I'm not happy with it. I think it's a betrayal of the fans, as I said before. The last story that I have right now is Hitman, okay? Now, I've been saying over this for the past few months, with Daredevil, with the Gotham series, instead of making movies about video games or, you know, comic books, making them into movies that can work, but often it doesn't really work out too well, I say make TV shows, and essentially that is what they have decided to do. A Hitman TV series is being written by the John Wick creator, Derek Kolstad. Now, apparently, John Wick's really good. I'm actually interested. They got number 2 out. I ain't seen 1, but I'm looking forward to seeing it at some point. The bald-headed Agent 47 has been a massive video game franchise and has lasted for more than 17 years. I played all of them. No, except the first one. That was on PC. But now, with many ups and downs with the character, it looks like he's finally getting his own TV show. It's reported that not only will Hitman get the silver screen treatment, but he will also be written by John Wick creator. TV show will be shown in 2019. However, I am kind of pissed off at this. This next part, it says it will be brought to you by brought to life by Fox 21 and streaming service Hulu, which is fucking annoying. The game follows a genetically engineered assassin whose DNA is made of 5 of the world's most dangerous criminals. Really? He gets his name, the barcode at the back of his head, which says, get this, I thought it was just 47, I used the last part, 640509/040147, so that's why he gets his name 47. Whatever. The best part about this news is it will stick closely with the video game storyline, and considering that there have been 9 games since its release in 2000, there's plenty of material to work from. While most people are excited about the idea of Hitman getting the John Wick treatment, there's been film versions of the game that haven't done so well. First, it was released in 2007, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 15%, with the critics saying that Hitman's features an unfortunate combination of excessive violence, but it's fucking Hitman, it's supposed to be violence, that's ridiculous. Incoherent plot, I admit the plot was a bit shit, and inane dialogue, possibly, I get you, it weren't that great. The 2015 follow-up movie, Hitman Agent 47, did even worse, received only 9% of a rating on the Rotten Tomatoes website. However, considering that his last 2 creations of Kolstad's, of Keanu Reeves, received 86 and 90%, I reckon we are sure to be it's going to be a sick TV show. And this is what I said about the comic books and video games. Make it a TV series. We get a fleshed out character. Well, first of all, let's go to the beginning. They get to put a decent character in there, someone who looks like the character. Okay, they get to flesh out the story and his origin, and then you see him progress in whatever he's going to be doing. So you get more into the story. Now, it's quite interesting because there's only a few characters in this in the TV series, or surely there will be, with Hitman. 47 rather, Diane, who you'll probably only hear her voice, but they might bring in one or 2 other characters. I think they're bringing in females in both the movies in particular to bring out the softer side of him. That seems to be always the way, and that's not criticising females being in the movie. I'm just simply saying that that's what they do with a lot of these, because other than that, it would just be him going around. If you play the game, he just goes around killing everyone mercifully, and there wouldn't be much dialogue, to be honest with you. It depends on how you do it, to be honest with you. I understand it's quite a tough character to portray and a movie to do, because quite frankly he doesn't speak a lot and he wouldn't speak a lot, so you have to bring someone in there for him to have a bit of dialogue, or it's going to be kind of very quiet, lots of bullets, and you know, just the investigation team talking all the time or whatever. So I am looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a Netflix thing. I don't know, so that's going to be kind of annoying. I won't be able to see it that way. I'm not going to subscribe to Hulu just to fucking watch that. That's crazy. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But I like I said, this is the future of video games. They are making a Resident Evil series for Netflix, by the way, I believe. Whenever that's coming out, I don't know, which I'm definitely excited for, because then we ain't getting a movie, which a lot of people pan the movies, and then you know, we get fleshed out characters and a decent story, which they're not pressured under the from the writers or whatever to put like a whole 50-hour, 100-hour content into a 90-minute movie. It's like, nah, we get to flesh out the story and we get a better version of it. And like I said, that is my opinion on that, and hopefully we'll be doing more of this over a period of time. That's all the stories I've got for right now. I may record one or two more if I find any, so stay tuned. Hi guys, Belgium this time. We're going back to Star Wars. The loot boxes are under attack once more. Belgium are investigating EA's and Blizzard over their loot boxes situation, whether they consider it gambling or not. Now, RBS or whatever it is in the USA cleared them of gambling offences, but Belgium, of course, have their own authorities, and it varies from country to country, or EU especially, for example. And of course, the legislation is never up to date with the today's world. You know, the technology moves a hell of a lot faster than the legislation. Old laws need to be updated consistently, etc., etc. EA's excuse or saying that it isn't gambling, which of course it is a form of gambling, but at the same time, they have said that basically when you buy a loot crate, you can either buy it with real world money, like so many people do, or earn it in game. With the in-game currency, you earn it, of course, you get so many kills, blah blah blah, and then you earn it, and that's the way it works. That's the way it used to work. And it was fair because then it rewarded beast players, and then shit players like me, it took me longer to get anything. But incentivized, I can't say the word, the incentive to get better, sorry, is what I'm looking to say, was there, alright? I get good at the game, earn it, and try and become a beast as well, you know, put some time and effort into the game. Now people can just go with mummy and daddy's credit card and essentially buy whatever, and you know, and there's a little bit of a buzz there for them if they get a cool weapon or a cool skin or whatever. We had a parent of Microsoft, for example, her son was putting in the numbers and spent £1,000 on games thinking they were free games because he was just putting in some numbers, and you know, thankfully the mother contacted Microsoft and she got her money back, blah blah blah. But it can happen and does happen. Now, there is a few types of loot crates, or kind of loot crates, I'm going to say, right? So let's go down the list. So first and foremost, it used to be, I get so many kills, I earn loot crates in the game, and then that's cool, right? I pay for what I want, and the shit players just have to wait a longer time. That's the way it used to work in most shooters. EA's FIFA earns £1 billion in microtransactions, maybe more now, for FIFA Ultimate Team. I personally don't do it, but of course you get the bronze, silver and gold versions of these loot crates or these player packs. This is the way it works. In the gold, I might get Ronaldo, or I might go, I don't know, in the bronze one, I get a League 2 shit player who I never even fucking heard of. But it is a fact, you know. This is the kind of level that you're at right now. Like I said, I can either earn that or I can buy it. Then you've got GTA, who basically, which is a better scenario because you basically go and buy in-game currency on the PSN store and you get to buy what you want. There's no random stuff. It's like me going into the store and technically buying whatever I want. If I want to buy a shotgun, I buy a shotgun. If I want to buy a jet or that super badass car that I've been wanting that my friend's got and we customize it, cool, I can do that. And that's one for one. It's no gambling involved there, but it is paying for in-game currency, but that's not gambling as such, you know what I mean? It's just, I see what I want, I go get it. So there's a difference there. But let's just give you a baseline of how many variations there are of, well, essentially, that's only two versions really, because FIFA is the same as as Battlefront, you know what I mean? Whether you get value for money in each loot crate or boxes, depending on the level that you buy, the gold version or whatever it is. And it can become somewhat addicting, and people spend real world money in this. Personally, I would like to see them stop the real world money scenario and just go in-game currency. And just stick to earning it through the matches or whatever, and then that way it would reward beast players or good players, and then if you're just a casual like me, you have to wait longer to actually get it. Now there's an argument of, well, they won't be able to run the servers that well, or updates and blah blah blah. Well, there's a couple of things you can do there with these elements, and people don't stick to the game. It's another argument. So there's a couple of things you can do to correct this. One, you can basically, the casual like me who might get bored of your game, sick of it because I'm not very good and blah blah blah, and they want players to feel valued. This is a reality of today's life. Now, me. I want to feel satisfied, whether it be a like on Facebook or it be X and Y and Z, or I've paid for it, I'm entitled to it. I get this notion. I see it, I don't like it, and I try to avoid it the best I can, but it is today's society. So, what can you do? And a lot of gamers, hardcore gamers, won't like me for saying this, but to counterbalance it, because it's all a balancing act, you can basically do this. You can say, okay, so for your beast player, you get a loot crate every 10 games, because you're great, because that's how we're going to do it, right? Just say 10 games, okay? Which would be nothing to you if you're a hardcore gamer. If you're a casual, and on average it takes you 30 games or 20 games to get those kind of... say it took 30 games for me to get a loot crate, right? Down that shit to about 16 or 17, where you're giving me more points per average, and then I get the loot crate. And then, therefore, I feel part of it, I get rewarded, blah, 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 and my kind of satisfactory mindset in my mind, anyway, goes up a little bit, and I might be inclined to stay on your game a little bit longer, right? It would work for hardcore gamers as well. You'll just get more stuff quicker as well. So basically, the casuals feel a bit more satisfied and are inclined to stay on, and you get to basically kill noobs. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Is if you look at it that way, and you're getting more stuff than them. So everyone feels a little bit valued. Now, a lot of people ain't a popular fan of that. Some will, some won't be. However, what I will say this about the money situation: if you're looking to earn more money in your games, whether it be EA, Call of Duty, whatever, X, Y, and Z, right? Basically, when it comes to the DLC or the season pass, right? Up that shit wholesale, right? So basically, every single map pack or DLC, you're getting a map. You're getting 4 maps, 3 maps, just call it 4 on average, right? These are your base models over the year. 4, 4, 4, 4. You're getting 12, 15 maps over the course of the year. Whack in a load of other shit. Whack in double XP weekends every 2 weeks. Whack in special characters. Whack in special uniforms that you give out each month. Put out weapons each month as well, like Battlefield 4 did, and then of course give people XP boosts and stuff like that over the course of the actual game. So many percent like Battlefield 4 did. They had a good model of 25%, 50%, 100%, and then people would get these free things over the course of a month, each month, and then people would be very, very satisfied. However, you could also do this. What you would do is, I think they did some Battlefield 4. You could give, just say me, who's paid £80, right? £80, they get the gun, they get the character straight away, or whatever, or a week early, blah blah blah. So you see, I'm a casual, and I see these guys running around with these cool characters or this cool gun. I really want that gun, but of course they paid the extra money, the £80, so they get it, whatever, X, Y, and Z. However, I haven't paid for it. Maybe I haven't got the DLC. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Maybe I paid for the DLC, but I pay it for it individually, right? Like £12 or whatever, because I want that gun. I don't know. Maybe you could just put that behind a lock wall, and I have to earn it in-game rank. So basically, I have to get a certain rank to get that game. So people who paid £80 basically get the gun straight away. But for me, I have to earn it through going through the ranking system. Or you could just tie every single gun to a rank, and then that way nobody's got actually an advantage in-game. And everything else is just customizable camo and shit that don't really matter. So no one's got actually a better gun than anyone else. It's all on the same base level, and it's only earned through rank. And I think that would be a better way of doing it, to be honest with you, overall. But let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Do you think they should abolish real world money and just go with what you earn in-game as a form of currency, giving more points out on average? Giving more in the actual DLC as an incentive for you to go and buy the actual DLC, so you're getting better value for money overall, and obviously tying up the guns to rank more than just giving them away for free or whatever. I think that would work actually a lot better, because then it's based on skill, and one person has it because he's earned it, putting the time to the game where other people haven't. Maybe that would be the better option overall. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. That's not just my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, come up with your ideas and opinions on it. I'll probably reply to those and just have a little discussion there with you about it, depending on what you think's good. And what games in particular do you pay for full DLC for the season pass for? What game are you a fanboy of? Is it Call of Duty? Is it Battlefront? Is it going to be Battlefield games that you buy the season pass to? Personally, the only one I've done it on is Battlefield 4, and I felt very valued for money there. I felt very satisfied with that purchase, and I spent a lot of hours on it too, along with SOCON Confrontation on the PS3. Anyway, guys, the new T-shirts will be out on November the 21st. I'll try and come up with a cool design. I was going to put my cookie meme on the actual T-shirt, and you guys, maybe if you want to buy that, you can buy that. I know a lot of people did ask for that, so I'm going to try and do that, and they will be available on the 21st of November. That's this Tuesday, so check that out. You can come back to this video or one of my latest videos, and the link should be in the description below. If you can follow me on social media, if you want to shout out my channel, you can check out my email in the link in the description below, and we'll talk about it. You must have PayPal though, it is a charged thing. Because I get so many people doing it, as you know. GTA has finished. I don't think there'll be a food review this week either, because I've just been somewhat busy doing other things and stressing about certain aspects of just certain things. I'm not going to get into it, but I don't think there'll be a food review. I don't think there will be. Depends. Might be one next week though. Yeah, that's about all the updates I already had to say on that. Oh, we'll be starting a brand new playthrough on Monday. I don't know if people are going to be interested in it. It's a shooter game. You know, it's the first one before we move on to the next one, etc., which is a newer game out. I'll let you know via Instagram what that is. Anyway, guys, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links are in the description below. And leave a like if you notice I changed shirt during this video. Just saying. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.